Hi, Cancer. So let's do a 4-layered spread to try to capture as much of the energy around you that we can. So I have 2 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks that we will use to do this. So we have 3 of Cups, the Hermit reversed, Ace of Wands reversed, High Priestess, 4 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, 9 of Swords reversed, 7 of Wands, and the Chariot reversed. Under this deck is the Star reversed. So then we'll take 6 of these tarot cards for our second layer. So there's Judgment, the Hermit again, but this time in the upright, Page of Wands, the Hierophant, Queen of Wands again, Knight of Wands. Under this deck is the 4 of Swords. Then we'll take 6 of these Prism Oracle cards for our third layer. So there's Confidence, Peace, Space, Reflection, Mystery, Surrender. Under this deck is Sadness. And then we'll take 2 of these big picture oracle cards, and then we're going to really get into this for you, Cancer. So there's the Moon, the Stars, and underneath this deck is the Broom. So what I'm getting from the surface energy, Cancer, is it feels like you are losing faith in something. I feel and a really strong sense of despair, especially because Sadness is at the bottom of this deck. It feels like this is a time for you to really, there's a need to relax and get emotional balance. It feels like you are in a cycle that is very upsetting, and you're losing faith in something. You're losing your trust in something. This feels like kind of a crucial message. So Cancer, if this feels like your reading, let's really get into this. So in your current energy, you have the 3 of Cups and Judgment. So this could be about friendships. This could be about relationships. The 3 of Cups is my card of friendship. And so I do feel like you're having to make some kind of a high-level decision when it comes to some kind of a relationship with someone that you really had a lot of fond feelings for. But it feels like you're listening right now to your soul's call. It feels like you're trying to make some kind of a high-level decision. Judgment can be about our own ascension and learning from things and transforming ourselves and preparing for a new phase. So it could be that you're going through something right now with a friend or a loved one, but it means you having to make some kind of a very high-level decision using your higher self, not using your 3D version of yourself, but feels very spiritual. I'm jumping ahead just for a second because the stars are in your environment. So I do feel like you are being guided spiritually by your guides to do something, but I can feel that it's an extremely difficult decision for you, that it's something that is really in some way causing you a lot of despair. So then we have the 9 of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So this is an energy of rewards, efforts for your labor, efforts for the work that you have already done. The Hierophant's a very grounded type of energy, and so is the 9 of Pentacles. So I can feel you stabilizing. This is your near future energy. So you are stabilizing. I can see you beginning to stabilize, that you're expanding through this, you're grounding through this. It feels like you're finishing something. So in your near future, know that you're going to feel more grounded, more rested, less in this element of despair that I'm feeling. So We have the Hermit reversed and confidence. So this is, you're feeling really lonely right now. You're losing confidence because this is in your trigger position. This is where you're really struggling. This is what's setting you off, that maybe perhaps these people you thought were your friends or whoever this loved one is for you, they're making you just feel lonely. Like you don't know what happened. Maybe once this thing made you feel very confident, but now you're feeling like this is a dead end and you're losing all faith. You're losing all hope in this situation or this person, whatever this relationship is for you. Then we have the Queen of Wands and reflection. So you see yourself as still being confident. You're just not confident in this relationship, that you're having a lot of time to reflect on what's happened and why this relationship got to the point where it did. That it feels like there were consequences that came from this very particular relationship, that there was some kind of cause and effect that went on here, and it feels almost like a karmic debt. But I'm also seeing that perhaps you have already paid this debt, whatever that is, because I see you grounding and being you're staying this confident energy, but now you're being the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands because you've done the reflection. So therefore, I think you've already done the karmic work, but now you just have to get to this decision, whatever this decision you have to make about this relationship, so that you can get grounded and perhaps even get independent of this particular relationship. It feels like you're trying to free yourself of it, but it's very difficult to do that. It's like you don't want to release this person, or you don't want to release this relationship, or you don't want to hurt this person, but it feels like I see you doing it. I see you releasing it. Then we have Ace of Wands reversed, the Hermit, Peace, and the Moon. So this is your soul. Your soul is saying you're really delaying this here. With the Ace of Wands, it's always my card for delays. And I think that your soul is saying, if you really dig deep inward with your inner knowing of the Hermit, and by the way, the Moon is also inner knowing, because this is the card of intuition in the big picture oracle system. That's the thing that's going to bring you peace. So your soul is recognizing that you're really delaying making a decision. And I think what's happening here is that it's causing, the more you sit in this energy, the more sad you feel, the more despair you feel, the more resentment you feel maybe towards this person, or the more anger, or the more you are bitter, or you think about the things they said to you. The more you delay that, you're just delaying your own sense of peace. You're delaying your own sense of inner knowing that this is really not where you're meant to be. But I can see that the decision to release this person has been extraordinarily difficult for you. So then we have Nine of Swords reversed, Queen of Wands, Mystery, and the Stars. So the Nine of Swords reversed is about your inner fears, because usually when I read reversals, it's inner as opposed to external. And so I think you have a lot of deep-seated fears when it comes to this person, that there's this mystery about it, that you feel like you're going to make the wrong decision. I am not saying that your person is gaslighting you. I'm just going to give you an example that if you are being gaslit in a relationship, that's the whole point of gaslighting, is they want you to be confused enough so that you don't have this irrefutable proof that you need to know that there's something weird going on, but you can't put your finger on it. But that's why the Moon is here, the Hermit was here, and the Stars are here, because yes, the cards are saying this person is a mystery, but it doesn't matter. They're playing on your deepest fears with the Nine of Swords reversed. But the Stars being in your environment is saying that your guides, your ancestral spirit guides, are guiding you away from this situation. And that's why Judgment is here. This Judgment is your ancestral guides trying to wake you up to what's going on around you and why you're feeling this way, why you're in despair, why you're in cycles, why you're feeling confused. Your guides are trying to show you with this wake-up call of the Judgment. So then we have the High Priestess and Space. You've already experienced this. You already know, your intuition already told you to get out of Dodge. You already know this. So this is why your soul is saying, this is exactly why this Ace of Wands is in reverse, Cancer, because your soul is saying, I know you're delaying because I know you know. You know. Look what's here. You know. This is knowledge. The high priestess knows everything. And you know that it's time to put distance between you and this person, but you're just delaying. And you're delaying your happiness. You're delaying your peace as you do that. We saw that. Your soul is saying you're delaying this. The more you delay your intuition, the more you're delaying your own peace. Because as we said, you're stuck in this feeling of sadness, of bitterness, of resentment, whatever that is for you, that this relationship caused for you. That why would you delay your own happiness by staying in this? So then the Seven of Wands in surrender, this is in your shadow position. So it feels to me like there's a need, you may have a small shadow side that likes to win and you don't want to surrender to this, or you want to say that you fought as much as you could and you didn't want to be the one to give up on the relationship. Make that part make sense for you. But this is the shadow part. It's falling in the shadow position. So this is saying to overcome the fear of surrendering and saying, you know what, I give up the fight. If you're in a game of tug of war and you drop the rope and you say, well, hold on, wait a second, I just quit. That's what this is saying. Just drop the rope. It doesn't matter. You don't have to win this battle. This battle doesn't matter because this situation is only causing resentment. So what this is really telling me is pick your battles. That's what this is about. Finding inner balance by picking your battles. Because if you keep resisting this energy and keep fighting it, what you resist persists. And that's why the broom is here, because the broom is about repetitive cycles. The broom is about the things you wake up and do every single day. And this is saying, just drop the rope, surrender. It doesn't matter. You don't have to win this particular battle. It's time to just cut your losses and move on. So then we have the Four of Cups and the Page of Wands. So you're manifesting this in. You are contemplating finding perhaps a new path, a new person with the Page of Wands. This is potential. I feel like you are contemplating what your potential or your potential with someone else would be if you do cut your losses, if you do decide. It's like this, okay, so what this is telling me, this Four of Cups is saying you're kind of daydreaming about what this life would look like if you started fresh, either on your own or with someone else, but you're in this contemplative type of energy where you're thinking, okay, what if I do break up with this person? What if I do tell this friend I don't want to be friends anymore? What if I do put boundaries around this whole situation or drop the rope? This is saying that you're really contemplating that. You're thinking about what that will mean, that if you do this, what will your life look like? If you take this chance of not showing up for this person anymore, what does that look like? And I feel like whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're dreaming about, whatever your potential is, you're manifesting that in. And that's why I think we saw this Nine of Pentacles in your near future, because you are manifesting in your own independence and perhaps someone who's going to have a different kind of potential than whoever this particular friend or relationship was. And then your potential final outcome is the Chariot reversed and the Knight of Wands. These are very different energies, but I think what they're saying is that you're dropping this opposition. You're doing exactly what your shadow side is telling you not to do, but the cards are telling you to do, to drop the rope. You don't have to win this particular game of tug of war. And I see you doing that. And then you're charging forward with confidence because you're showing up as a Queen of Wands and a Knight of Wands and confidence. And it feels like you're getting your confidence back by dropping the rope, by dropping the relationship. That is the thing that's going to give you that confidence back. And that feels very clear that that's what's going on. This is like a commitment to yourself. Do you see how these two cards together, the Nine of Pentacles and the Hierophant, this is self. This can be a card of commitment and stability. This is a commitment to yourself, and this is in your near future. This is about investing in yourself. This is about not delaying your own peace any longer by dropping the rope, dropping the relationship, picking your battles, and just moving on confidently. So there you go, Cancer. That is your reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.